It's Tuesday, February 28th. This is a regular year, a non-leap year, so February comes to a close. Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lall on the National Outlook. We're going to talk a little bit more about matrimony, but in a disappointing way. A disappointing way. From last Friday's Kaieteur newspaper, Region 4 REO grabs mic from chairman during flag-raising event. Objects to impromptu speech from MP Kathy Hughes. Look, it was impromptu. It was before a huge audience. It was not on the schedule. All of that is before us, and I agree that those were the circumstances. But I think for the REO of Region 4 to grab, to snatch, to haul away, to pull away, very unceremoniously, at such a public event, at such a public moment, our national holiday, from a political adversary, does not come across very well. It's not civilized. Yes, it might be proper according to the book. She was not a scheduled speaker. She's from the other side, Miss Hughes. Be that as it may, I think that if we decide and convince ourselves that the only way that we can have is our way, and there must be no other, then we are going to end up yanking microphones from each other. We're going to pull each other's hair out of our heads, out of the other's heads. And then we're going to dig each other's eyes, and we're going to get worse and worse. Is this really what we want? Is this where we are really headed? Let's face something. Despite the matrimony revelry, I want to say this, and I take this very seriously. This country is sitting in a bad place. This country is very tense, ignoring parts of it, the parts that are left out, the parts that don't have, the parts that are treated in any old way. You don't have to agree with me, but I want you to think about that. So when I write these things and I speak about these things, I'm saying there is a better way. And we need to be more courteous to one another. We need to make exceptions for each other. We need to think of the far-reaching effects of our actions, the appearance of the thing, not just the thing itself. We can be stiff and say you are not a part of the proceedings, an official part of the official proceeding. Therefore, it must be no and no and no. Not here, not now. But what does that gain us? What does that gain us? Momentary control? Towards what end? And that's my hang-up here. That's my concern, my disappointment with what the Region 4 REO did when snatching the microphone from MP, a Member of Parliament, Kathy Hughes. I'm certainly not saying that she should have seized the opportunity to insert herself there. But what I'm saying is that she did. And the REO should have had the presence of mind and the confidence, the security in himself and in his group to say, well, what harm can it do? How much of a rabble-rouser is she? How much is this going to put a damper on our celebrations, on this national moment in the sun? I think those questions they speak for themselves in that we can easily answer them. But do we? Do we really want to answer them? Some things we should desist from. Some things we should not go near to. And especially in the big moments when the whole world is watching. when we may have a lot of foreign eyes looking at us. Let's think about our self-respect and our dignity, even when we are right. Even when we are right. Two wrongs do not make a right, and that's what I think happened here. I'm GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook.